time it is. Marvin Devine, Huber, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Big game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Fuck it, what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, XL, and Huber way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah, I got the
Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, wherever you're at. Welcome to another episode of Kidney Hub East Africa. I am half your host, Steve, the Kidney Nurse. Today, I am broadcasting in Petersburg, Virginia, USA. I'm here on a dialysis work assignment. And the show doesn't stop. So here with me to talk about our topic today, your first dialysis treatment, starting it, is none other than my host from Kissimmee. I'm sorry, I done messed up the name, but I'm just going to say Nairobi, Kenya, is my brother, Mose Kennedy. Let's give him the warm welcome. Brother Moses, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good, Brother Steve. Doing great and glad to be here today.
Awesome. And I'm glad that you're here again because I know as we talked about before the show, you had mentioned it's been a struggle, with dialysis and dealing with kidney disease. And so I just wanted to thank you and say that I appreciate you coming on here every Sunday and dedicating your time in kidney disease education and awareness. Yes. So, Brother Moses, how's it going today?
It's been good, Brother Steve. However, just getting fatigued since Friday. But then that one will not let someone like myself, will not drag me in any way. But I've been fatigued. I've been having enough bed rest, but it's still there. However, I'm glad I'm strong, I would say so, to this moment.
Yes, and I completely understand because I know that in your country, for most kidney warriors on dialysis, uh, they deal with anemia. And one of the medicines that help combat anemia is epogen or erythropoietin therapy. And that's something that is hard to get for many warriors in East Africa. Is that
Oh
correct?
yes. Oh yes.
Brother Moses, can you
Sometimes
hear me?
I can hear you, though it's raining here. That is why you could see some, you could hear some funny sound, but I can hear you. Am I clear? My
Okay.
image and the voice. All right. It's raining right now heavily, so much heavily. Well, regarding erythropoietin, sometimes uh, government hospitals at times provide. But then the challenge comes when the obvious challenges that we have in government hospitals, that maybe the supply is out, or the last supplier wasn't paid, or was delayed, or or the money has been misappropriated by individuals. So such like things makes it sometimes the drugs not available in public hospital. Now, when I come to private hospital, which most patients prefer because of how you are handled, and I mean, just service delivery vis-a-vis private, vis-a-vis government hospital is two world apart. So majority of most dialysis patients are in private hospital, where they tend to believe that the services are much better. The erythropoietin, you buy it yourself, all right? But then in government hospitals, there are times you can get them, there are times you cannot get them. And there are times you cannot even get the dialyzer, the line itself. So there are such challenges in so many government institutes all over the country.
Got you. Wow. So let's talk about a topic that many kidney patients deal with, and that is starting your first dialysis, of course. Now, whether it's outpatient, inpatient, starting your first dialysis for the first time can be a range of emotions and feelings for many people undergoing this treatment. Now, today, Brother Moses and I will discuss some common experience that most people starting dialysis for the first time may experience. Brother Moses, when you first started dialysis, how was that for you before we delve into this topic?
Well, mine was completely a different case, because when I started dialysis, I would say it was so late to the extent that I was unable to recollect all the activities that was happening during that time. I crashed into dialysis, and then I became unconscious and lost memory, and then I was in ICU for almost 4 days. For about 4 to 7 days, I was in ICU, and then it was not easier for me because even after leaving ICU, my memory was completely off to the extent that after 1 week, you know, I started to gain my memory slowly by slowly. So mine was completely a different order, and that is how I started dialysis, and I decided to accept after a very long time, not immediately. So I was just doing dialysis for the sake because my mom was really out to it that I must do it, and she was told this is what will save my life. So I was doing it for my mom. Yeah, that's all. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Brother Moses.
All right.
It seemed like we're experiencing some technical difficulties. You said it's raining really hard, and that's part
Let
of
me
the
just,
El Nino season. Is that correct? So,
okay.
so while Brother Moses uh, get his equipment together because of technical difficulties, we're going to move on and discuss some common experience that most people starting dialysis for the first time may experience. And you watching this may experience this yourself if you are on dialysis. Okay. Now, each person's experience is going to be different. So, one, let's see if Brother Moses, okay, still frozen. Okay. So, let's talk about it. One, anxiety. Anxiety. Many patients feel anxious about unknown of the dialysis process, such as how their body will respond to the treatment, the duration of the session, and potential side effects. Now, how many people watching this broadcast, when you first found out you had to start dialysis, whether it was in the hospital, whether it's you went to the doctor's office and was told that, or whether you're in the emergency room, okay? Did you experience any anxiety? Because these are common experience for a lot of people, okay? I got Brother Moses back. Okay, this is okay, brother. Welcome back. Let me see. Okay, now this is a lot of people experience anxiety or feel anxious about the unknowns of the dialysis process. Doctor come in the room and say you got to start dialysis, and you may have heard about it, or you may not even know about it, and you may be like, "What is dialysis?" Then you go look it up on the internet, and you get all these different responses, and you start to worry, had an anxious. Then you probably want to know how many hours I'm going to do. Will I get sick on dialysis? Or what's the potential side effects of going to dialysis? This is all common. Two, let's talk about fear. Fears. Most people starting dialysis experience fear. I've seen it many times on social media. People in the lives or in the thread or in the Facebook post say they're about to start dialysis soon and they're scared to death. And this is where empowerment comes in. We're going to talk about that near the end. But fear, there may be fear related to the underlying medical condition that requires dialysis, as well as concerns about the impact of dialysis on their daily life, work, and relationship. Brother Moses, did you have any fear or as the concerns about the impact of dialysis on your daily life once you recovered and you start to recollect your memory and you knew what was going on? Did you have any concerns about the impact this was going to have on your daily life, your work and relationships, knowing that prior to that you were,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
doing your thing in Kenya?
Absolutely.
Speak about that, brother, before you got sick.
Absolutely, brother Steve.
What were you doing?
What happens? Actually, I had the fear of a known future. You know, when you are first diagnosed, and then you are not empowered with the knowledge, the required knowledge. There is fear all over your life because you ask yourself, what will be the impact of this kind of treatment? Commitment twice a week. I mean, what will be the impact in my life? Will I ever go back and work normal as a normal being? I mean, am I going to lead the normal life? And where will be the resources comes from to take care of all this that is required during dialysis? So it is basically a myriad of so many factors that comes in, brother Steve. I know just like any other patient, you would be worried in that, would is there a side effect for this treatment? And if yes, how am I going to cope up with it? So, brother Steve, there is a lot of seriousness that a patient like myself, when we started off, there was that fear in any manner, in any sort of you would think of, there was seriously fear.
Brother Moses, I agree with you. When I had a torn retina, and I don't even have diabetes, I don't even know where it came from, but when my eyesight was impacted, I had some serious anxiety and fear. And this was just due to a torn retina that impaired my vision. So I agree with you. The concerns about the impact of dialysis on daily life. People try to figure out how they're going to make a living now, where they still be able to work. The impact on the relationship with their loved ones. You got people who can't handle the situation that leaves that person. I mean, it's so like a continuum of fear and concerns that ranges from one end of the spectrum to the other. Let's move on. Let's talk about relief. Some people experience relief. like, how can you experience relief of dealing with kidney disease or kidney failure? Well, some patients may feel a sense of relief that they are finally receiving the necessary treatment to manage their kidney disease. So you got some people live in remote areas that take this serious and they can't get the treatment. And when they finally get it, they feel relieved. Dialysis can be a life-saving intervention, and knowing that they are taking steps to improve their health can bring a sense of relief. Brother Moses, I know you crashed into dialysis, but did you ever feel a sense of relief dealing with this?
Oh yes, oh yes. Basically, there was relief in that now my doctor started educating me. At one time, he was able to come and share with me because, you know, I used to ask him so many questions. And then to the extent he referred me, can you Google this? Just check on this, you know, and I really felt relieved in that, you know, I started understanding bit by bit about the impact and the benefits of treatment. And then, you know, Brother Steve, honestly, getting empowered in terms of education is perhaps the most liberating thing for a kidney warrior. That is why when you understand your system, you understand that you are sick, you understand that you need this, you understand that these are the options, you also understand that this is what you can do and this is beyond your limit. So it is perhaps the most liberating thing, Brother Steve.
Wow. Okay, number 4, and I'm sure many warriors may experience this. And if you haven't started dialysis, if you're watching this and you've been told that you may have to start dialysis, and if you feel, they tell you that, the doctor, and if you feel some anxiety, fear, or relief, and the next one we're going to talk about is sadness or grief, these are common experience. So don't feel like that you're going crazy. So starting dialysis often signifies a significant change in lifestyle and can be a reminder of the loss of kidney function. So patients may mourn the loss of their previous health and the freedom that they had before dialysis. Brother Moses, did you experience any feelings of sadness or loss? Or
Definitely,
grief?
definitely, Brother Steve. You know, normally in the beginning, you start regretting before you accept that there is a lot of regret that comes in before you accept that now this is my condition, I'm moving on. Now, if you happen to regret in a way, then I think that is the process of recovery. So basically, you would regret how about my family, my what of my life expectancy, you know, and where did I go wrong to the extent that now I'm suffering of this kind of condition. So yes, regret comes in, but I've always known that if you notice and recognize regret, then it is a way forward to recovery.
Yes, very, very well said, Brother Moses. While you was speaking, I had mentioned on TikTok right now, someone is starting dialysis somewhere in the world right now. And I'm not exaggerating. That's how serious this disease is and the impact that it's having across the world. Not just the United States, across the world. So it's very important, if you come across this podcast, share this with anyone that you know that's on dialysis, that has kidney disease, or caregivers of someone who may be dealing with dialysis that didn't get a chance to see this broadcast. Okay. Now let's move on, because the next one is something Brother Moses has been echoing throughout this broadcast. Okay. And that's empowerment. And I've seen a lot of empowerment online from kidney warriors, whether it's from sharing their experience, they're on TikTok live, showing themselves hooking up to dialysis, or whether they out advocating. That's all a part of empowerment. And despite the challenges, some patients may feel empowered by taking an active role in their own health care. They may appreciate the opportunity to learn about their condition, treatment options, and self-care techniques. And that's why we do this show. Because if you have people out there that want to take the opportunity to learn about their condition, treatment options, or self-care techniques, they could tune in to Kidney Hub East Africa or Steve the Kidney Nurse. I'm not saying that there's not other options out there. However, they're not going to talk to you in real time like we're doing right now. They'll put the information out there, leave it for you to understand on your own terms. But this is serious, and that's why myself and Brother Moses take the time out to do this show, especially for kidney warriors in East Africa. Because here in the United States, information is available freely. Going to dialysis 3 times a week, or if you want to come in for extra treatment, gets paid for by Medicare or Medicaid. If you need erythropoietin treatment or iron therapy or bone and mineral therapy, it's paid for by the government. None of this happens in East Africa. Many warriors are left in it on their own to defend for themselves when it comes to this treatment. And so that's why we do this show, hoping we can get more information out there that our brothers and sisters in East Africa can take their power back and figure a way to continue this journey despite not able to go to treatment 3 times a week, despite having to pay for their medicines out of their pocket. So, Brother Moses, you have anything to say about empowerment and the challenges that our brothers and sisters face over in East Africa, and what they can do to take an active role in their own healthcare?
Well, the most important thing when it comes to empowerment, it means it all goes on being an advocate of kidney health. Now, when you become an advocate, you advocate for yourself, others, and even for better outcome in terms of treating CKD. Now, most patients, they are really attached to their facility and to their doctors, in that sometimes they fear to speak. They fear that even if they speak, how how is my doctor going to perceive me? I mean, how will my nurse think about me? Am I going to be handled ruthlessly simply because I speak up my voice? So that and many more queries lingers in most patients, and that is why they sometimes do not care what is being done to them. They only wait and have their 4 hours in machine, just like as a customary, and then leave the place and go, even without checking their BP or asking or knowing the state of their BP. And that is why always, Steve, you've said we are much into empowerment. That is where mine, I tend to believe that if every patient takes that proactive action, then we can move forward to better outcome.
Very, very well said, Brother Moses. Very well said. And I was just sitting here thinking, like, right now, we have 3 people watching, and we has had as high as many as 8, 9, 10 people watching today. And what my hope is for brothers and sisters in East Africa to find this broadcast and to tune in droves, because I know there's many people in East Africa suffering with kidney disease and dialysis. So very well said, Brother Moses. And our last one that we're going to talk about is hope. You have a brother on social media that started a podcast called Hope with Jonathan. Hope can go a long way. Okay. Now, dialysis can provide a renewed sense of hope for patients as they receive regular treatment and support to manage their kidney disease. They may feel optimistic about the potential improvements in their health and quality of life. Now, I can imagine if Brother Moses was able to get 3 treatments a week, 4 hours, and was able to have his medicines that he may need on dialysis, like erythropoietin, Zemplar, Sensipar, iron, whatever the case, that his condition would probably be 10 times better than what it is going twice a week and not able to pay for his medicines. But he still has a sense of hope. Brother Moses, talk about hope.
Well, hope is the mother of all now when it comes to survival. Steve, basically, I want to give an example that sometimes one gets low emotionally to the extent that you are losing hope. But then if you pick up and have your hope with you, however difficult situation you are going through, I think uh, it's doing good rather than any harm, because I remember sometimes when I suffer or maybe lack of drugs, you have nobody to share with, or for example, my case, what is really putting me down is bone mineral disorder. Now you realize that you cannot walk fast, you cannot run, you cannot jump. So it becomes really horrible if you are told that you go buy these drugs, and then those drugs is out of reach. So what happens? That does not become the end of the road. It means you just have to survive one day at a time, even if you know the repercussions. The worst thing is again that almost drives hope away, that you know the consequences of not taking those drugs, and then you still want to have your hope. So brother Steve, I think hope is the mother of all, that when one has hope, then the future is bright.
Well said, brother. Well said. Well said. So with that being said, it's important to note that each individual's experience will be unique. And you may not have the same experience as Brother Moses have if you're dealing with dialysis or kidney disease. And emotions may vary from person to person. Many patients often benefit, though, from support from healthcare professionals, family, and friends to help navigate their emotions and adjust to this new routine. Now, this is a new routine, dialysis, for many people. It's a new normal. And navigating through that new normal is what can be challenging, especially if there's no education involved. Brother Moses, you have anything that you want to say?
Oh yes. Um, to kidney warriors, their loved ones, and their caregivers, it is very important you give support in a way that you try to walk the journey with your patient, so that there are things you will really understand if you walk the journey with him or her. But there are things you won't understand just by word of mouth or sharing by word of mouth. So if you know you are a caregiver, wherever you are, my advice is that try walk the journey. Walking the journey means knowing what the patient need, the kind of food he eats, the drugs that are needed, the drugs that are available, and the ones that are not available. So by this, you can shoulder the burden that warriors have. Sometimes, Brother Steve, let me tell you one thing. Warriors are just huddled in their rooms, because they have no one to tell their story to. Sometimes this program like Kidney Hub East Africa, I've had so many requests that we interview individuals, because why? They think this is the right place maybe to share their story. People will really get to know the facts from it. And that is why really it is important, caregivers, that now you must the narrative must change.
Yeah, Brother Moses, if you got anybody who wants to come on the show, please, let's bring them on to share their story.
Oh yeah, I think we can have one next Sunday.
Okay, let me know. Let me know. And if anyone's watching this broadcast right now, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok, and you want to be interviewed or come on the show, Kidney Hub East Africa, whether you're in the United States or East Africa, please reach out to us. You can reach out to me as Steve, the kidney nurse, through Facebook Messenger or TikTok Messenger. You can reach out to Brother Moses Kennedy on Facebook or the Fegal Initiative. I mean, we would love to interview and hear your experience dealing with this disease. So, all right, Brother Moses, I think we about down to the end of the show. And early, not unless you have anything you want to mention or talk about before we end the show.
Well, Brother Steve, I just want also to encourage our viewers that we will keep on doing our best. And I know it is not encouraging. It is not encouraging because we have few viewers at the moment. I think that is not the end of the road.
Oh, absolutely not, brother. Absolutely not. I've been doing this since, I guess, 2017, 2018, far as podcasts. And one thing I could say, it goes up and down when it comes to viewers. However, it's always been like this, and I never understand why. And I go to some other podcasts, and it'd be hundreds of people. And the thing is, they don't be talking the information we be talking. They be talking, kidney disease information, which is good. Anywhere someone can get information, okay, on their condition is fantastic. However, you're not going to, have healthcare professionals on here unless it's a webinar or something where they may get paid for instead of just volunteering their time on a regular basis to make sure people are getting this education. Okay, every day, well, not every day, but every other day that I work, whether it be here, there, wherever, I always run into patients that don't know or weren't educated or weren't told this when they first started or didn't know that. And that's why these type of podcasts are important. It's not going to always be pretty. That's why I said I always talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of kidney disease, because once you know everything, you have all the cards laid out on the table, then you are able to make an informed decision about your condition. But if you only hear about the good things, then you won't know about the other part of this disease. Or if you only hear about the bad part, you won't know about the good part. So it's important to that we, meaning people in this community or kidney space, can share this information and come together in support of programs such as this, because you're not going to see any programs come on every Sunday and talk about different situations or different topics dealing with kidney disease and kidney failure. It's not a popular topic. However, millions of people deal with this condition. So Brother Moses and I will continue to be here every Sunday until whatever, So, Brother Moses, with that being said, that's all I have. You have anything to say before?
Oh, yes. Yeah, Brother Steve, sometimes I really get like 2 months ago, I told you about how I acquired my microphone. I was in town, doing some errands. Actually, I'd gone to pick, that I'm not going to say here. I'd gone to pick something in town, and then somebody runs to me and says, hey, ambassador. Then I checked. I didn't know anybody. Then he told me, you are always my fan. So you wonder where they are when we are doing this kind of show. But I'm glad we are penetrating, because I asked him, are you a patient? Then he told me he's not a patient, but then he lost the mother. The mother was diabetic, and he came across our show. So that is how we connected, and I really felt accelerated, because I felt that we are doing something worthy.
Yeah. I was just thinking when you said that the other day, where I went to work out of town, where I'm working at now, one of the patients, a young female in their 30s, I was doing my assessment, like, how you doing? How you been? It's fine, because I worked here before. But she said, I be seeing your TikToks. And I was like, what? Are you for real? She said, yeah. So you're right. You never know who you're touching, where they may be. And like you said, where are they at in these times? But everybody has a life. So, some people sleep, some people out taking care of errands, spending time with family. Definitely understand that. So hopefully they can watch the rebroadcast of this and benefit from the information that we talked about today. So with that being said, I'd like to thank everyone who watched the show tonight, or this evening, or this afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Jonathan Trailer, Tom D. Benedictus. We definitely appreciate your support, and anyone else that's watching, that didn't comment. We definitely appreciate you, and will continue to come here every Sunday to educate and advocate, not just for our brothers and sisters in East Africa, but for everyone that's going through this situation. Brother Moses, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. I know you haven't been, feeling well. Sending thoughts and prayers to you for improved health. And I'll be talking with you during the week. All right.
Thank you so much.
Any last words?
Oh, yes. We are always live. Same day, same hour. So get to know that you don't need to ask. It is same time, same day, same hour. Keep watching Kidney Hub East Africa.
Thank you, Brother Moses. Thank you. And again, is it still raining?
No, it's not.
Okay. All right, Brother Moses. Stay safe, stay dry, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Thank you, everyone, for watching Kidney Hub East Africa with myself and the Kidney Ambassador, Mose Kennedy. Thank you, guys, and have a great week. Peace.
Hello, I'm Darren. We have breaking news. More than 600,000 Americans have kidney failure. While the number of people with kidney failure is enormous, the number of people with its precursor, chronic kidney disease, is staggering. An estimated 31 million Americans, or about 10% of the US population. Diabetes and hypertension cause 2/3 of all cases of kidney disease. 1 out of every 3 Americans is at risk for kidney disease, and kidney disease is now among the top 10 causes of death in the United States. In addition, 9 out of 10 people with early to moderate kidney disease don't know they have it, putting their health in jeopardy. Are you at risk? For more information, contact urbankidneyalliance.org. The life you save may be yours.